Today is March 26th. Y'all seen Ivan Bates last night. I'm talking about the new face of old Jim Crow. All right? Made a documentary, 20 years a slave, 20 years of Maryland's prison industry. You made the movie We Got a Monster? Well, my movie supersedes your monster. All right? Because you are the monster. You are the monster. I'm the cook in Baltimore. Social media for social change, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I don't need 1 million people to march. I need 1 million people to pay attention. 2011, y'all charged me with terrorism. Y'all charged me with terrorism. That toilet represents how you treat the black community. You treat us like shit. The toilet was about Scott Schellenberger, art and activism. That's Chief Hyde in the state prosecutor's office. That's the toilet in front of the school board, the school of prison pipeline. That's State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby. And that's WEAA, Anthony McCarthy. All right? Y'all lynched me. Y'all tried to kill me. You feel me? I applied for Martin Luther King's job and y'all got mad. And our representatives been silent. That's Adrian Jones. That's the Karson Institute, a movie release. And that's Dr. Kaye from the Karson Institute. And she been silent about this. So I made sure everybody's on the same page. You feel me? Everybody's on the same page. These are criminal charges against Scott Schellenberger. That's the state of Maryland, District Court. These are criminal charges against Scott Schellenberger. All right? Shorty Davis. And it's legal since 2024. You feel me? Since 2024. That's CNN. That's the state prosecutor's office. And that's Ivan Bates. We went from enslavement to mass incarceration. Black America, 13% of the population, 14% drug users, 56% of the prison population. Michelle Alexander wrote the book. I made the movie. And you the star of the show. You holding my intellectual property. I am Dred Scott. This is Facebook 2011 when I started this. All right? And that's the United States. No, that's the state of Illinois telling you in 1987 that I was innocent of charges. This is the Karson Institute. We talking about the haves versus the have-nots. Because Dr. Kaye been silent on this ever since forever. Dr. Kaye has been silent on this. That's property of the Karson Institute, Loyola University. That's Dr. Kaye. That's 2024. Almost 2 years and she ain't opened her mouth. That's Kaylin Young. That's Kaylin Young. Maryland Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts. The First Amendment of the Constitution. And Lou Clippinger, Ferguson, Lewis, Edelson, we had these conversations. Do your job or lose your job. Racism don't work without black cooperation. It ain't gonna end without white participation. You were elected to defend my constitutional rights, my freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, my right to property. Yeah. That's Lou Clippinger. And that's the 13th Amendment. That's Corey McCrae. And that's me. All right? Through the legal lens. We're gonna do this through the legal lens. About your prison industry and mass incarceration. President Trump's talking about immigration and the money off of immigration. Well, President Trump has participated in this too. First go round. Moses parted the Red Sea, Shorty parted some rednecks. And I did it with a toilet. That's Governor Westmore on my toilet. Through the legal lens, Corey McCrae. Through the legal lens, leaders of a beautiful struggle. Through the legal lens, that's you. Ivan Bates. There's room for everybody at my table. This is the grill that Baltimore bought me. This is Baltimore's community grill. All right? And I'm Shorty, the barbecue guy. So we put everything on the table for 20 years. 20 years a slave. Activism ain't terrorism. We talking about the haves versus the have-nots. That's Xavier Conway, the clerk of the court. And Xavier Conway been shielding this since he sat in that seat. His grandfather had this information. You feel me? That's Ivan Bates. And right here is 2010. See that? Mr. Bailey, my lawyer. And that's Dr. Kaye. And that's Kwesi Mfume. See that? That's Kwesi Mfume. Told you about social media. So that's Governor Westmore. That's Governor Westmore. 80 days of session. That's Tom Perez and me. You see who got this? I'm looking for a writ of certiorari to go to the Supreme Court. That's Marilyn Mosby and Tessa. And this is where we started at, 2006. Dear Mr. Davis, all right, get Shorty. That's Governor O'Malley. That's the FCC, because we got FCC violations. That's parole and probation. And that's Tawanda Jones. That's Corey McCray. That's Brandon Soderbergh. You feel me? Like I said, through the legal lens. Through the legal lens. That's Hausberger from the Maryland Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts. That's Senator Brooks. That's Delegate Sheila Roof. And that's Ivan Bates. Like I said, through the legal lens, all about your politics and your politicians. That's Linda Dodge, parole and probation. Consent to be videotaped. So let's play the whole hour-and-a-half interview. That's me at Union Station, 2023. Jim Jordan, Kwaisa Mfume. You stole me from my family. That's Xavier Conway to court. And that's Xavier Conway, the clerk of the court. You feel me? The doors of the church is open. I can't go to the grand jury if you don't take my paperwork. You can't use your office to block an investigation. You can't protect white supremacy with your office. This is Malcolm Ruff, and we talking about the money that Sinclair Broadcasting puts in y'all's pockets. That's Atlas, and that's Sinclair Broadcasting. The money behind mass incarceration. The ball is in your court. How much money did Atlas give you to sell out the black community? I'm still here. I'm still Shorty. We talking about Pat Arakis' money, Kevin Plank's money, the money behind mass incarceration. That's day 59. And this is the property you stole from me. That's Governor O'Malley, and that's notarized. That's T.J. Smith, the Baltimore Sun. And that's Kathleen Pugh, all right? That's Kathleen Pugh. Making a documentary about all our politics and our politicians. That ain't against the law. That's Kwaisa Mfume. And that's Spike Lee. We're gonna see if you do the right thing. When Spike Lee came to town, he went through the back of the library. That's the Karson Institute for Race, Peace, and Social Justice. And that's Michelle Alexander. Like I said, making a movie ain't against the law. Ask Pastor Dante Hickman. The doors of the church is open. For more information, you contact Senator Delegate Sean Stinnett. But right here is Malcolm Ruff. All right? That's the Maryland Black Caucus. And that's February the 2nd at 8:53 a.m. The state's attorney's office. Scott Schellenberger got this. Greg Bernstein had this. Ivan Bates had this. And Malcolm Ruff was working for Schellenberger. That's a legal notice. And we talk about jurisdiction. Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and Lake County, Illinois. I'm a free black man, and I want to go to court. So, Corey, what you gonna do? Because like I said, Maryland's Volunteer Lawyers for the Arts, Maryland Arts Day. That's day 58. You feel me? Johnny Oleski and Kwaisa signed off on this. Knowledge makes you unfit to be a slave. So, David Trone, everything you got to turn over. I'm not a slave. I'm a free black man.